across Sri Lanka to Trincomalee, also known as Gokarna. We set off at 6:30 this morning, nice and early, sun wasn't even properly up. Everything was incredibly still. There's loads of birds on the waters, and if you look very carefully, there's some pelicans there, which is great. The sun just about kind of came through the clouds, and even the cows and the goats, which were still asleep on the roads, weren't going to move for us. Donkey just standing in the middle of the road. So Peter started off the driving to save me, because I don't like changing gear very well, it hurts my fingers. So we drove out through the town, nobody on the streets, everything really quiet. Great for driving. Then we came across the great big bridge that links Mannar to the mainland. Incredibly windy over here. You could feel the tuk-tuk swaying from side to side. And again, the clouds, the mist of the day was just beginning to burn off. And then at about this point, there was a big embankment. So we stopped, climbed up the embankment and found this. Just climbed up this embankment and found this. It's huge. Here comes Peter. There's Abraham just there on the road. And so still. Not a ripple. That's incredible. Peter climbed up to have a look and took a few photographs of me, which was really nice, and there's another one. And then, even though it was so beautiful and still to look at, we got back into our tuk-tuk, dear Abraham, and hit the road. The train line runs along the embankment that holds this water in place, but the cows had all gone to sleep on it. More pom-pom trees, more beautiful views, and if you look carefully, there are monkeys in these trees. We stopped here for an ice cream and a coffee. We entered the rice paddy fields, which again started another conversation on rice, past this amazing little railway station. It just had so many tracks going through it. No idea where it was, but it was on the A14 because I took a photograph. More straight roads with beautiful canopy of trees, and then we came into a little village, little town that had a very British looking post box. Now at this point I was driving and I had one job only. After 12 kilometres I needed to turn left. But we got back into rice fields, and then we were looking for elephants because we saw the elephant sign. And between talking about rice and looking for elephants, I forgot to look for any turn-offs, and apparently 5 kilometres past the turn-off, we realised I'd gone wrong. I had one job, only one job, and I got it wrong. So it was decided that Peter would drive from now on. And although we did see a couple of tracks that would put us back on course, we decided not to take those. We stayed on the main road and carried on through our various rice fields. These were all waiting to be planted, until eventually we came all the way across the island, back into a civilization of towns and little villages, to where we were going to spend the night, in Trincomalee, wherever it is we are. Anyway, look, pizza huts and garages and stupas. We checked into our hotel, which is supposed to be beach fronted, but it's a small walk to the beach. And then we went up the beach. We walked and walked and walked until we found this temple. There's now going to be a lot of photographs of temples because I have had such an incredible afternoon. This one was open, there was nobody in it, so I went inside, and look at the decoration in there. Every single wall, shelves full of deities. The ceiling was decorated. Every single piece. Shiva was full in there, and various of his incarnations of wives, and it's just so gorgeous. I was in absolute heaven. Peter was sitting outside and I was just gazing at it all. Even the outside is beautifully, beautifully decorated. And there's just not anything really around. There's some boats out the front and about 3 houses around the back. Anyway, then we walked back. Peter got in the swimming pool. I had a swim and it was really nice. We relaxed for about an hour or so. And then we headed into town. So on the way to the temple I wanted to go to, we spotted these guys. They're a deer on the side of the road. And there's even more walking towards our tuk-tuk. Totally adorable. Found this amazing banyan tree, and then Peter didn't really want to go to the temple, so I went up here. And this temple is amazing. It's really, really famous. You'll have to look it up because I can't remember what it's called again. But it was beautiful. There were peacocks running around the place and deer running around the place, and so many deities hidden in corners. The views were amazing, and it was just stunning. Literally everywhere I looked there was something. There were all these little boxes tied onto the railings and into this tree. I'm not quite sure what they mean, but they just look so pretty. Lots of people wandering around, and yeah, I had a beautiful, beautiful time there. This deer was just sitting and people were just taking photographs, so I took a photograph too, why not? So then, saying goodbye to this place, I walked back, and you can see the place, or the road leading down to the temple, is lined with food and chocolates and hats, and there's some monkeys, and then there were more deer and more banyan trees. We drove along the beach front to another little bay I wanted to go to, Sandy Bay, and guess what? There was another temple. Now these photos aren't actually mine because I went in and they were doing arti, and then I took part in the arti, and I was ringing bells and doing puja and everything else, and it was amazing. So these I did actually find online, but you can see how beautiful it was inside. And then, feeling absolutely blissed out, I got back in the tuk-tuk and we came home. Oh, we went and had something to eat, then we came home. An amazing day.